Hello everyone, my name is Sophie and welcome back to another episode of the Bookhater Club podcast, episode number 21. I am so happy for you joining me today on our journey to talk about apollycon. Apollycon, an event that just recently happened. If you're watching this video as it comes out, it just recently happened. If you're watching this at a later date, maybe not as recently, but I'm really excited to talk about this. Okay, I don't have to overdo it. I'm like normally excited. But I don't have any other topic for today. Can you believe it? Usually I do a bit of yapping beforehand and I yap about a thing or two, but for today's topic, I don't have any pre-yapping. No pre-yapping, and so I think I want to make this quick and not dirty, guys. I got ready just for you. I want to make this quick and fun and talk to you guys about what happened. And again, I'm always so happy when drama happens because, well, I'm not, but whenever drama happens, that gives me something to talk about. And I don't have to think of something. And come up with some shit, you know what I mean? So, thank you to TikTok. And I hope that everyone involved gets what they deserve. Okay, that's very ominous. We'll be talking about apollycon. Apollycon is a book event, a book convention, and there was some drama surrounding it. So we're going to talk about that. But first, I of course have to thank my members because they make this possible. Yes, my members get my videos a day early. They also get exclusive content such as my Ruby Red movie commentary, and they get stickers in the comments, they get a shout out, they get my eternal peace and love. Guys, because of the shout out, I have to say, look at how quick I'm doing everything today. So it feels kind of weird, like I feel like I have to think of something to yap about, because usually my intros are like 10 minutes long. It feels weird to just get into it, you know what I mean? I feel like you guys think I'm in a hurry. I'm kind of in a hurry, okay? I have to work in 6 hours. 7, maybe. I don't want to be dramatic, you know? But, what was I talking about? My members. What else was I talking about? Yapping. That being said, let's give them a shout out. Oh, I was talking about the shout out, right? Because we're getting more and more members. The members are exponentially growing. I'm afraid that at some point I can't read out all of the names anymore. And I don't want to be like, I don't know, like, because I've been reading them out all the time, and then I was having a conversation with my boyfriend. He was like, what are you going to do when you reach a certain amount of members? Like, it's going to take 10 minutes to, being dramatic, 10 minutes to read out all of the names. So I'm thinking that at some point in the future, you will still get a shout out, but it will be without me reading out the names. Except if I get a new member, then obviously they will get a verbal shout out because love you. But that would just like, it would just be a whole video of me saying names. So I don't really know how to do it, but I do want to give a shout out, but I'm thinking about it. So that being said, let's give a shout out to all of you. I want to say bitches. I don't want to say that. To all the book haters. We're in the book hater club. Oh yeah, I thought I forgot to change the sign. I was like, oh my god, I got scared. That would be so embarrassing. No, I put it on. Okay. Let's give a shout out to all my members. My members are Haley B, Ashley Ranger B, Trinity ELW, Clara S, Kushimita, Deja, Queen Sif, Courtney, Grace, Elouette, Probably Bree, Marissa Simons, Joe Beans, Samwise from Lord of the Rings, Usagi Swimfree, Megan May, Carrie G, Sydney, Emion, Haley Charles, Asteria, Sweet P, Eric Danielson, Mrs. Preminger, and my newest member, Tris. Thank you so much for joining, Tris. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. It's Polish, and I know this because you commented, hello, my fellow European. I love your European accent. I don't have one. I don't have one. I'm sorry. I know. I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of a, anecdote. And then you say, love from Poland. I think your work is great. Thank you so much. I know one Polish person. So now I know two. And I don't know how to say your last name, sadly. Honestly, like, I do struggle with pronouncing Eastern languages. But everything else is like fine, I feel like. But Eastern, just you guys, you can make sounds with your mouth. And also mean like Turkish and stuff. I just can't do it. My mouth isn't made for it. But thank you so much for joining. And I'm going to tell a little anecdote. Well, I already did. I told you I know one Polish person, but I want to do a different one. Oh my god. the set is falling apart. I want to do a different one because of my accent. Sometimes I get comments about my accent and they will ask me, where are you from? Germany. Germany, if you were wondering. I always say it. I always mention it. Sometimes I'm like, why are you asking? I probably said it in the video. I try to say it in every video just so everybody knows. And I've gotten asked about it multiple times, obviously, in my career. And back in the day, people thought I was Australian. Sorry. No, sorry. I don't know how to say it. But when I was younger, people would always ask me if I knew anyone, or if I had family in Australia, or if I was from Australia. Not that I particularly look Australian, but I don't. And the reason for that, I do have a reason for that. I can give you the reasoning behind it. It's that Sophie, used to be obsessed with Minecraft. Yes, I think most people went through a Minecraft phase, right? Anyway, and that was when I was like 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 it ended. It came to a stop. I've talked about this before, right? When I had a crush on a dude from Minecraft. Yes, I've talked about it in my Divine Rivals review. I talked about it in the reading blog that I used to play Minecraft religiously and I had a crush on someone from the UK. His name was Tom. Tom, if you're watching, fuck you. He broke my heart. He broke my heart. And my review for Divine Rivals is that the main character writes letters like I did when I was 13, heartbroken over my Minecraft boyfriend, and I read out proof, in case you're interested. Like, I genuinely did it. It was in English. I'm German, again. And I played something called Factions. Oh my god, guys, this is so deep Sophie lore. Sophie lore unlocked. I talked about it before. I don't know how much I talked about it, though. Because I actually, believe it or not, I don't rewatch my videos. I don't do it. I don't do it. I can't look at myself for that long. Editing is already a chore. I used to play Minecraft Factions, and that was a game mode where you would play on an online server with other people, and you would have to build, or you would have to form a guild, basically, a team, and then take over the server. That was the end goal. And then you would build your base on the server, in the world somewhere, and then there was nothing you could do to protect it necessarily. You would have to just hide it very well and hope that nobody else would find it and raid you, right? And that was the whole point, like trying to get as much resource as possible to become the biggest faction so nobody could raid you and you were controlling the whole server. And believe it or not, I was, at the end of my career, part of the biggest faction on the server. And I started that shit from the ground up. No, we were merged. Me and another one. Mine was called Hyrule. Oh my god, this is so deep. I don't want to talk about this. But I do want to talk about it. I'm talking about it right now. Why am I talking? Oh, Australian, yeah. So when I started playing, I was like 13 and it was online. And so I started having teams. We started doing teams or a faction. We made a faction and I started playing with random people. And the first two people I ever spoke to were Australian. Yeah, they were Australian. If you're watching this, the one girl was called Tree. And the dude, I don't know what his name was. But they were both, like, old for me. Like, I was 13, no, 12 or 13, I don't remember, I think I was 13, and they were, like, 17. But that was just normal back then, that you would play with people, like, older than you, right? And I actually still follow the people on Instagram. 2 of them, at least. Yes, if you're watching this right now. But it was a really scoring time for me. And because the first people I ever spoke to for like an extended period of time before we merged from Skype to TeamSpeak, which I don't think TeamSpeak exists anymore, people just use Discord now. Does it still exist? Any of you gamers? Are any gamers out there? I'm really, like, I'm cringing talking about this, but I don't know how long we spoke, like only me and these 2 Australian people while playing Minecraft, for how long that was. Maybe like, I don't want to overdo it, maybe it was like only 2 weeks. I don't really remember it that well. But since those were the people I mainly spoke to and extensively for like 2 weeks, wow, 2 weeks is a long time, I think I kind of absorbed their accent, right? Because I didn't have anyone in my life around me speaking English to me. This was the only input I was getting. And so people would assume that I was Australian. But I just think they were lying. I'm aware that I don't sound Australian. I'm aware that I sound like something that people sometimes just can't pinpoint, but they can tell it's something. It's German. Love you, Tris. So, that being said, let's start talking about the drama. let's start talking about the drama that happened. And for this, like for me to talk about the drama regarding this con that happened, I have to talk about the con itself first and tell you guys what it's all about. And a special thanks to Erin for sending this to me on Instagram. You provide me with all of the tea. I know that you are my main provider. No, I would have seen it. I would have seen that this happened regardless, and I'll talk about why in a second. But I went onto our chat on Instagram and I saw this picture. I just have to show you guys like this. I want to leave this comment list. She said, you sent me this. And I got whiplash. I was like, what the fuck is that? Because sometimes I just forget. I'm not on Instagram that much, actually. I try to be, but I just never am. Because I'm lazy. Instagram kind of stresses me out, I have to be honest. But you can feel free to follow me at Honestly Sophie YT. I do want to be really active on it. And I try to post regularly, but it stresses me out. I don't know what it is about Instagram. In my free time, I'm never on Instagram. I'm only on TikTok. But that also stresses me out. That's why I don't post on there either. I'm not that interesting. So anyway, I'm going to tell you why I would have seen this regardless, but thank you for sending it to me. I love when shit goes down. So, apollycon. What the fuck is that? Why is it called apollycon? I don't know. I don't know what apolly stands for. I don't know if this is a reference to something that I don't know. Maybe the author's first book. You're going to say, what author? Well, this con was founded by an author. And she has written a lot of books. You can guess. No, actually don't guess. You're never going to guess it. Well, you could potentially guess it, okay? I'm not doubting that. But I'll just tell you, because we're not here for guessing. I'll just read out the description to you guys. Okay, chill. I'll read out the description to you guys. When you look on the website of apollycon, on the About section, you get a picture of the author and you get this little paragraph. apollycon is an annual multi-day author event owned by hashtag New York Times and internationally best-selling author Jennifer L. Armentrout. And that's when everything made sense to me. Like, I didn't know this book convention existed. I didn't know about its existence before, like, 2 days ago. But when I saw that Jennifer L. Armentrout was the head of this event, it all made sense to me. Like, it's all clear, right? And also, the people attending this event, now all becomes clear. So, established in 2015, so it's been around for almost 10 years, apollycon features authors who write young adult and adult fiction, vendors, publishers, sponsors, and hosts over 1,000 plus readers each year in Washington, D.C. What's going on in Washington, guys? Is it on the top left? I actually have no idea. I think so, right? What's going on there? I only know the Washington Monument. Isn't that like a big penis-looking statue? Like a big stone? Fucking hate monuments like that. Like, is a monument a big stone? Why are we doing that? Why are we just putting ugly, fugly stones somewhere and calling it a monument? You could have at least done a statue if you want to honor the great George Washington. I don't think he was that great. Didn't he have... I was gonna say, didn't he own slaves? Yeah, he did. I think that was kind of normal back then. Doesn't excuse it, though. You know what? I'm not happy for him founding America. Okay. Love all of my Americans watching. So, that being said, I wrote down, honestly, this just feels like something Jennifer L. Armentrout uses to boost her ego. Because, okay, I'm just going to tell you now. Right, I would have seen this regardless. I'm just going to tell you now. I wanted to tell you later. I'm currently reading a book. Yes, I know. And if you don't know, I'm reading Den of Vipers. And I posted on my story, and I said, I'm like 1% sure this book was written ironically, because I was thinking, I read the first 10%. Outside, by the way. On a bench, trying to enjoy my life. Couldn't, because I was reading it. And the lines, even in these first 10%, which this book is I think 600 pages long, no idea why. Again, I'm 10% in, guys. Sorry. I thought, like, the lines were so ridiculous up until the 10% mark already, that the more they were coming, because they're also coming, I was just thinking, like, this has to be a joke. But then they kept coming, and then I was like, maybe it's not a joke. Like, maybe this is serious. Like, I genuinely can't tell, and that's why I said 1% instead of 99. Like, that was a conscious choice. I was like, maybe this isn't ironic. Maybe this is being serious. I just can't tell. It's that silly. It's just really silly, you know, and I'm kind of over the, like, shock. I mean, I haven't started fucking yet. I'm kind of over the shock factor, and I'm just kind of enjoying it for what it is. Like, I'm just like, okay, I cannot take this seriously, and so I won't. Not that I'm enjoying it. It's a chore to get through because it's not written well. But that being said, why am I mentioning this? Well, first of all, so you guys know, my members voted for this. Tris, I hope it wasn't you. You weren't a member yet. But the next round, you can vote. My members also get to vote on my next reads. I forgot to say that. It's really important. What the fuck did I want to say? The author of Den of Vipers attended this event, apollycon. And so, literally the day before this drama happened, I was on the author's Instagram page trying to find information on her, the dirt on her. It's K.A. Knight, by the way, which is an ass name. It's also not her real name. It's her, you know, very easy to find out because whatever. And I was trying to, like, find out shit about her just so, because I always look into the authors of the books I read, and this is the first time I'm reading a book by her, and she was at apollycon, and so I was like, what the fuck is this? I went onto it, I was like, okay, this is like a dog romance convention, whatever, the fuck, I don't care about it. And then this drama happened, and it was sent to me, and I was like, okay, now this makes sense, because then I also found out Jennifer L. Armentrout runs it, and I was like, okay, that makes sense, like, all of this, like, that was the vibe I was getting from this convention. When I went on the Instagram page and I saw the author of Den of Vipers posting about it on her story, that she was there, I was like, okay, this is like a convention for bitches that I don't care about and that I've hated on in the past. And that's exactly what it is. And we'll talk about the authors that were there, okay? But that's why I would have probably seen this regardless, right? Because I was already reading a book by the author. And so I would have revisited it. But again, this just feels like something that exists because Jennifer L. Armentrout wants to stroke her own fucking ego. And I went back on Instagram to the start of this fucking Instagram page of apollycon, and I hate putting things on screen because it's so much work. But I'll scooch over. It's so much work. Okay, bitch. Lazy. I am. But I'll put the shit up that I'm talking about. I'll try at least to remember. I went back on Instagram and I was like, okay, how did this event start? If it's been around since 2015, that's a very long time. They've had a lot of events. They probably, and you have to keep that in mind, right, when we talk about the drama later, that it's been around for a while. And that this is run by Jennifer L. Armentrout and two bitches. Like, it's 3 people running this, as far as I'm concerned. We have apollycon 2017 special guest announcement. And you would think, like, I know 2017, 2016, 2017 was a different time, but you would think that a special guest would be like a big author, like Colleen Hoover. No, the special guest is Drew Lighty, a hot, or presumably hot man that is a model for Jennifer L. Armentrout's books. I would have loved to meet him. What the fuck is he doing there? Why the fuck? Is he gonna take his shirt off when we take a picture together? Otherwise, I wouldn't want to do it. Why the fuck is he invited? I mean, that was Warren hate. I mean, like, why the fuck would I care about the fucking model on the cover? Okay? And then she posted a picture because he was not the only assumably hot dude invited. It was 4 hot men and Jennifer L. Armentrout, which I don't know what she identifies as, so. Oh! They damn right. Jennifer Armentrout? Let me give that a quick Google search. Oh no, she goes by she, her. Okay. I was getting really scared that I messed something up. So who's going by they then? Who did I confuse her with? Jenny Pop. Honestly, my opinion on Jennifer L. Armentrout, my personal opinion, if you would ask me, like, what's your opinion, I would say she needs to put the pen down. Somebody needs to take away her laptop. This woman does not need to be writing. She is writing for the fucking Facebook moms. People hate her books. I hate her books. I read From Blood and Ash. It was my comeback, in case you didn't know. I didn't post for, like, a while, and then I decided to come back with a bang and read From Blood and Ash, and I was like, what the fuck are we doing? You know, and then, no, we're here. So, I do eventually want to do maybe a series review about the whole series. I don't think it's done. Like, I don't think she's over it yet. And so, once all of the books are out, I would do that. But genuinely, like, that woman can't write and she just writes the same thing over and over again. Alas. She invited all of the hot men, and don't know why they agreed to come. I need to stop doing that. the jokes, like, that was funny the first time, but not the third, right? So anyway, that's just kind of the vibe of the 2017 apollycon. That's kind of like also the vibe I bring to the function. I just invite a bunch of hot men, conventionally attractive men. Anyway, other than that, there's also vendors at this event, of course. There's like an artist alley, I think it's what it's called, so people can buy merchandise, but there's people selling the merchandise. I didn't find any information on how to sign up for this, and I also didn't find any information if authors could sign up, like kind of like a vendor, like smaller authors, to promote their books at this con. There was no information on the website. Maybe it's because the event is over. So I'm a little late on this, but that's not something I can tell you. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I was on Twitter to see if people were talking about this drama on Twitter. That's the only reason that I'm on there. And I saw, I'm sorry, actually, wait. On Twitter, an author posted their booth for themselves. The author, surely, you know Sarah Wolf. I don't know Sarah Wolf, no idea who this lady is. Again, I was just looking if people were talking about anything that happened to them, any drama, or anything regarding this drama. Sorry, I'm just making, Lärm. How do you say? Noise isn't a strong enough word for what I'm trying to express. That's why I prefer the German language. Sarah Wolf decided to, wait, I'm gonna put it up on the screen, right? I can't even express the gackle I left out when I saw this picture for the first time, and I mean, peace and love, Sarah Wolf. Maybe you got told, like, yesterday that you were going to have a booth at this event. Alas, Sarah Wolf decided she was gonna... I'm so sorry, Sarah. She was gonna show up and, show out. Sorry, I just got so close. I put it up. If you're wondering what the fuck that is, I don't know. She put 3 copies of her book that's yet to be released, May 21st, and she ripped up a shopping bag and wrote the name of the book and the release on it. It's a crinkled up shopping bag. So not the best representation for what's going on at this con. I mean, everyone's... And then take one. Oh my god, the sticky notes. She probably got this as like a merch thing. Sticky notes on the bottom. It says take one, Heaven Breaker, May 21st. What the fuck am I gonna do with the fucking sticky note? Girly pop. I don't know if she got this invoice last minute that she was gonna... Sorry! My fucking god. That she was gonna be at this event. Alas, like, I think she could have at least written on like a non-crumbled piece of paper. But I hope that she got some people to read her book. If you're... Maybe I should read the book, honestly, just to give her some grace. But that was the vibe I was getting from this event. So, there were 1,750 tickets available to be purchased. And there were different price categories, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different price categories. Going from $15 up to $250. I think that's so fucking expensive, and that's like without tax. I know that Americans always like to add tax onto everything. I don't get it. Just do the price with tax like we do in Germany. Like, why are we adding shit at the fucking cash register? That being said, $250 is too much. And the thing is, the 2 lowest ones, or the 3 lowest ones, are just panel tickets. So you can only go to panels, / one of them is an author signing ticket. And there's, realistically, if you want to enjoy this event, there's only 2 categories that you can choose from, and that's the high one, the $250 one, and the $195 one. So you have to pay at least $200 if you want to have a good time. No, I'm kidding. Like, you can have a good time if you pay $15, I'm sure, but realistically, like, if you really want to go to an event and, I don't know, like, experience it properly, I feel like paying $200 is too much, especially for the little amount of coordination that was done. Because I feel like, realistically, the whole money was spent on the location and paying the authors. But I don't really know, do you really get paid? Again, like, you know, I know that Queen Civ girly pop, if you're watching this, my member, there's some convention girly pops watching, right? That go to conventions that know more than me. But I would just imagine that, like, where's the money going? Like, okay, paying for the location, but the volunteers that work there, the workers, they were not paid. And that's also part of the drama we'll talk about in a second. So who are we paying? The authors to show up? I feel like if I were a popular author, which I'm going to be, guys, we've talked about it, I'm gonna write a book, then I would just do it for free. I will just do it for the shits and giggles. Like, you just have to, maybe they're paying, like, for the, for them to travel there, like, for hotels and shit. Maybe that's what they're paying for the authors. But not for all of them, only for the high list ones. So, I don't really know. If you're wondering what this event entails, basically, like, the tickets, the expensive ones, right? Because I talked about panels. The Titan ticket is the $195 one, and the Primal ticket, Primal, you know, just naming it Primal is just, it's ew, bitch. It's 250 euro, no, not euros, where are we? Dollars. Sorry. They are basically the same. You get access to all events Thursday through Sunday, including panels, the Blood and Ash event with Jennifer Armentrout, of course, and signings and an after party. And then the only, well, no, I'm gonna read out everything you get. You also get a swag bag and a special edition Jennifer Armentrout book, because remember, she is running this event. And you get an exclusive author signing session on Friday, whatever the fuck that means. And the only difference is that you get to go to brunch with Blue Box Press on Sunday with the more expensive one. That's like $55 more expensive. You get to go to brunch. I love me a good brunch, you know. That's the tickets, right? Just so you know. I don't know. Again, I don't really know if it's expensive for cons. I've never been to any sort of convention, I think. No, I've been to a convention. I've been to a tiny house convention. Unsure why. I don't necessarily want to have a tiny house, but I did go there. And that was a few years ago, so I do know how shit works. I don't know how much I paid, like 10 euros? 20 maybe? Anyway, of course, we're all wondering now, before I get into the drama, who attended this event? Who were these authors that came and were presenting their books? Because obviously I've talked about some having their own booth, but of course there was more well-known authors who had like panels and scheduled signings and stuff like that. There was actually a total of 269 authors listed on the website. Now again, I don't know whether, I assume, sorry, please watch the ad so I can get a soft box. I don't think that all of these authors are like at panels or anything. I think a lot of them are also just on booths and stuff like that you walk around and you can meet them or whatever, because they're not that well known. They just literally put every fucking author on there. The most well known ones are of course Jennifer Armentrout. Please don't love Jenny. Fuck you, Jenny, if you're watching this. Actually, don't invite me. Then of course K.A. Knight, the author whose book I'm reading currently. There's actually 3 K.A.s listed on the website. So 3 different authors who have the initial K.A. as their first name. So not that good of an author name. I know you tried to do something there, you didn't succeed. Maybe would have stuck with your normal name. Then we have Carissa Broadbent, the author of Serpent and the Wings of Night that I reviewed. We have Raven Kennedy, the author of Guild, which I also reviewed, who's actually a big sponsor of this event. She's explicitly listed on the sponsors. Oh, in case you guys care. Do you care who sponsored this event? Obviously Jennifer Armentrout and Raven Kennedy also. She's listed, like, I'll show you. Here, this is the list of sponsors, and you can see right here, Raven Kennedy, her name is like really big, so she must have given them a lot of money. And then we have things like Illumicrate or the Bookish Box, and there was another author who I thought I recognized. We have Entangled Publishing, which I think is the publisher of Fourth Wing. But just a bunch of authors are sponsors, and a bunch of bookish organizations like 1001 Dark Nights is also something book related, whatever the fuck that is. They've been there from the start. They were there when she hired those models to come in 2017. They've been doing that shit. And then Yeah, Raven Kennedy, who wrote Guild, which I reviewed, and then Scarlett St. Clair, who wrote A Touch of Darkness, which I reviewed, and our queen, all race for the queen, Rebecca Yarok, was also there, the author of Fourth Wing, and I think she was like the biggest author to be there. Honestly, like, you can argue who was the biggest author there, and I'm sure that if you look at the list on the website of authors there, you would recognize more than I did. I just kind of... That's almost 300 names. I just kind of went over it and looked who I recognized. Rebecca Yarros was there talking some shit, you know, as she does whenever she's in a panel or something. I actually didn't see any clips of it, to be fair. Like, maybe I should have looked for that. Just her talking. She always says something where people are like, what the fuck did you just say? She was there. And then someone who wasn't there that I wanted to mention is H.D. Colton. And she's the author of Haunting Adeline that I also reviewed. And I have a serious beef with her. Fuck that woman. She wasn't there, which I thought was curious. I'm not sure if maybe she like made a statement on why she wasn't going to be there. Maybe she couldn't do it time-wise, or she just didn't feel like it. But the reason I find it odd is because she wasn't a full sponsor of last year's event, of last year's apollycon. She sponsored the after show or something like that, and going from sponsoring the event to not attending is like odd, right? I mean, there could be several reasons why she did that, but those are the kind of bitches. No, oh, I'm so sorry, I take it back. Not all of you are. Those are the kind of people that attend that event and the type of authors that attend this event, okay? And I think they all fit together very nicely into one category, and that is that Sophie doesn't like them. Sophie being me. Guys, actually my name is Sophie. It's not Sophie, it's Sophie. But you can call me whatever you like, you know. I know you can't pronounce it. No, I'm just kidding. But, I don't know why I just said that. Oh, I know why I just said that. I had drama at work the other day, and my coworker yelled at me, and she said, Sophia, don't yell. And I wasn't yelling. I said, my name's Sophie. Sophie. And she said, I don't care about your fucking name. I said, okay, lady. You could be my mom. Why are we yelling right now? That's like also a thing. We're gonna talk about this regarding with the drama with people yelling at each other and like getting into beef with one another. Whenever it's people older than me, I can't take it seriously. Did I talk about this recently? Did I talk about this recently? I feel like I did. Anyway, what's the drama that happened at this gorgeous event? Of course, I think that it's always nice when you can come together with people who share the same interests as you. I'm sure that many people met their favorite authors, and also many people met people like-minded, and it was nice to connect and be in a space where people enjoyed the same things as you. So, that being said, I don't think that it's inherently bad, but I do think that so many people in the book community are so weird, including me. I'm the number one hater. I'm the weirdest. No, so many people are so odd and like spiteful towards one another for no reason, and it just shows in events like this, right? So the first thing that happened, which I actually didn't know this was related to this event until I found out that she was at the event. It's about Rebecca Yarok. I saw a tweet of someone say, I'm screaming. I know I didn't just see a TikTok where Rebecca Yaros, I want to say Yarok, oh my god, what did I want to say? Rebecca Yarok, no, what's her name? Yarok. How many times do I have to say it? Rebecca Yarok says if she could co-write a book with anyone dead or alive, she'd pick Octavia Butler. Like, ma'am, have several seats. Oh my god. And she wrote this in all, or they wrote this in all caps, and I was like, I was a little embarrassed because I actually didn't know who Octavia Butler was. I'm so sorry, guys. Everyone's unsubscribing. Everyone's unsubscribing. I'm so sorry. I did not know who this queen was. Octavia Butler has sadly passed, and she was a very notable science fiction author. Black science fiction author, it's important to mention. And she shaped the scene, I think, a little bit much, right? Again, I have maybe in passing heard Octavia Butler, but I'm gonna be honest, guys. First of all, don't care about books that are old. Sorry. It's the same with movies that are old, you know? My boyfriend always makes me watch them because he's like, oh, this is a classic, we have to watch it. And it's like, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch a movie from before my dad was born. Peace and love. Not that Octavia, but that's not how long ago that was. But it's just like, I don't think I would enjoy them. And also, I don't really fuck their heart with science fiction. I've only read Red Rising. You know what I mean? Back in the day. And so I don't think that science fiction is that is the genre for me, is what I'm trying to say. You guys can tell me how much you love Octavia Butler, obviously, if you want to. But it prompted me to Google her, right? Love you, Octavia, rip, right? And then people were saying, oh my god, Rebecca Yarak said if she could write a book with anyone, she would pick Octavia Butler. Some of the people were assuming that Rebecca Yarak didn't know she was dead, first of all, which I wouldn't be surprised by, okay? But she didn't make a statement. Rebecca Yarak didn't make a statement. But most people were saying this because they are in completely different leagues. If you have to imagine like a very sophisticated is the right word. Octavia Butler, very high up there, very appraised. I'm just using words, I don't know if they're expressing what I mean. Very high up there author who had like a cultural impact, and then you have Rebecca Yarak. You know what I mean? And so people were like, okay, the Lulu Queen, I want to be as delusional as you. And then she posted maybe I'll put it up. She posted on her Instagram story, and I just saw this by chance because I saw the Twitter tweet, and then I went on her Instagram and I saw that she replied to an email that she got. She got an email by someone enraged by her saying Octavia Butler, and what, how do you say the first, the in the top of the email, how do you call it in English, betreff? What is it? Doesn't matter. The topic is Octavia Butler, and then the person just wrote, did you really not know she's dead? And so Rebecca Yarak had to go out of her way to say, come on guys, of course I know we lost Octavia Butler. And then she tagged someone, asked who I would want to co-write with, living or dead, when she stopped by my table at apollycon, and anyone who's asked me for recommendations this year knows I fell into an Octavia Butler binge after Kindred, and I still haven't recovered. She was brilliant. I don't really know what to do with that. You know, Rebecca Yarak, I feel like she just says so many things. She just has never done anything right. You know what I mean? Like, I've talked about her multiple times of her making odd statements. What was the last time? She was also at some kind of interview. Oh, I just don't know. She's just not someone that's equipped to be famous. You know what I mean? Not that I would be either. I'm not saying that. But just like, she does not have a team, I think. Anyway, that's something that happened, right? But the main thing is there was another drama. There's a TikTok video with 2.7 million views of a creator called something with smut. I actually forgot. Let me look it up. I took notes of the video. The video is, I think, like 10 minutes long. So in case you guys were like wondering what happened and you just didn't want to sit through it, don't worry, I got you. What's a Little Smut is their name on TikTok. I don't know their name because it doesn't say on their TikTok, but that doesn't matter. Girly Pop, I got you. What's a Little Smut? What's a Little Smut? What is it? What is a Little Smut? Alas, she has 4,000 followers on TikTok, so not that many for her getting 2.7 million views. Like, she was getting good views. Oh, she hasn't been on TikTok for that long. She just kind of, she's not like a book influencer necessarily, is what I'm seeing now. I didn't look at her account deeply before. She's just someone who attended apollycon because they love reading, and this is what happened to them. So, what happened? This creator, this person, because they're creator, you know, if you want to be, I support whatever you want to be, volunteered at this event. This person volunteered at apollycon, and they detailed that volunteers don't get paid. They get the equivalent to a Titan ticket, which is the $195 one, as we remember. So that's the one where you get all the benefits except for the brunch, right? So after you're done working your shift, you can attend the event as a Titan ticket holder, basically. And so, again, they don't get money. They don't get paid, right? I don't know, yet again, maybe I'm like the worst person to talk about this because I don't go to any conventions. If this is normal, I would assume so, right? Like, maybe a little bit of compensation. Actually, you know what? I have a friend who sometimes serves behind the bar at an event, and she also doesn't get paid for it. Or does she? But she can attend the event. Actually, no, I'm talking out of my ass. I actually don't even know. Should I text her or no? You guys will let me know. I know that there's some, like, there's no conventions near me, guys, that I could go to. Oh, fuck. There's no conventions near me that I could go to. Can you see my background? Yes, it is a trash bag. But it's full of clothes, okay? That I'm taking to the flea market, so don't judge me. It's not full of trash, okay? I don't have that laying around my room. Alas, the issues for this person, whose name I don't know, started when they were trying to get access to the event. They were coming in on Friday or Thursday, I think it said it started, to attend the event, or Friday, whatever day it started. They had their schedule per email. They had emailed with the coordinator, and they were trying to get their badge and their t-shirt to start working. And nobody could find their name on the registration list, okay? And then they told her to come back later, and when she did, they still didn't have it. They still didn't have her t-shirt. I think they gave her a badge and were like, okay, come back later for your t-shirt. She came back for the t-shirt and they didn't have it. And she was like, you wrote my name down. You told me to come back later to figure it out. Like, I want to work. I want to start working. And then they detailed that it took like 30 minutes for them to get her a shirt, even though she showed them proof via email that she was scheduled. Like, she had a schedule and everything. She had a shift scheduled, and they were still kind of fussing about and not giving her a t-shirt and not letting her work. Now, can I say something? Can I say something controversial? Better safe than sorry. Peace and love. I can understand. If I were volunteering at an event and somebody came to me and was like, oh, I'm working here, here's my whatever, and this event had been going for 9 years, maybe you fake it. Oh my god. So mean of me to say no, maybe. Like, this is like an issue that I understand is frustrating, because you're waiting around and you're like, why is this happening to me? But at the end of the day, like, I understand it, that this can happen, right? But by the way that they were detailing the story, it seems like nobody else had this issue but them, right? And nobody else has come forward to say anything about a similar issue, so they said in their video that some people messaged them and were like, oh, some people were treating me unfairly also, but I don't think this issue was, like, occurring much else. Anyway, this is something that I understand is frustrating, but I think it's something that can happen, right? I actually, funny story, little anecdote, I have a story time on my German TikTok, and I was talking about the fact that I had tickets for an event, and those tickets didn't load. Like, I booked the tickets in November, and then I went to the event in March, and when I was trying to download the tickets, it said not available. And so I did a get ready with me to end up not getting into the club, is what I called it. I did end up getting in the club, but the lady at the front, she was trying to scan the tickets. She was like looking them up on her phone, and she could find them, but she couldn't click them. Like, there was some kind of issue going on, and we also had to wait like 20 minutes because she had to call her boss, and then he had to like figure it out and like try, like, we had tickets, but they had to figure it out. So I understand it's frustrating, but that can happen. That can happen. But there were several other things that happened, which then makes it like worse, right? Because it's like things stacking on top of each other. So she detailed that there were power-hungry coordinators, and now I was like unsure whether the coordinators were also volunteers, but they were. Again, if you go on the apollycon Instagram, let me look it up, guys. Just 1 second. Don't worry about me. apollycon. It says an annual 4-day reader event with 150 plus authors in Washington, D.C., nobody cares, owned by Jennifer Armentrout. She owns it, and her team is 2 people. Her team is 2 people to organize this event. And at some point you have to think about whether this is maybe not enough staff to organize. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, that's nice that you're running it with 2 people if that's working for you. But is it working for you? It's her personal assistant and some random person from the Bookish Box, which is a sponsor of the event. They are the event coordinator. Okay. Alas, I don't care. And of course she's running this with a military wife, Pop. That's her personal assistant. Ugh, this is all making so much sense now, girly Pop. Why your books are ass, you know what I mean? Like, anyway. Jennifer Armentrout is like a force upon herself. So, the person on TikTok was detailing how they experienced power-hungry coordinators, that there was one coordinator in particular that was like punishing people for showing up early to a panel or to a signing and was explicitly putting them, when they showed up early, to the back of the line, which doesn't make sense to me. Why the fuck are we not lining up early? Isn't that like something that you do normally? I don't really get that. And there was one person in particular, and their name is Laura Lee. And now you're gonna say, how is that spelled? Exactly how we think it is. Laura, and then Lee. L-E-Y, no. X-Y-Z. Laura, L-E-I-G-H. And it's together. So it's not with like a Bindestrich. Laura Lee. Together. And that Laura Lee behaves exactly like a Laura Lee would. And the person on TikTok described that she was working as an author assistant. So that meant that for signings and stuff like that, she was just making sure that the author had books to sign and had like water and shit like that, like just helping the author out with the panel or signing that they were doing. And she had to go to the toilet. She had to go do a little pee break. And then this Laura Lee lady was standing in the door and not letting her through. And she was like, "What? I have to pee." And then Laura Lee was like, "No." And then they were like facing off in the doorway until the person on TikTok just forced themselves past them. And then she said, and this was in a public space, this was in the exhibition hall, and my friends were there watching me. And that line had me go, huh? Your friends were watching you, and why weren't they saying anything? What kind of friends are they? And then I was like, maybe she meant like the group of people she was there with, but she kept explicitly saying friends. Maybe that was easier to say, you know, to give her the benefit of the doubt. But if that you truly mean that was your friend, like that is not your friend. If I were... Genuinely, I'm a very confrontational person, believe it or not. Like, I don't mind confronting people if I think they're being dumb. You know what I mean? I've worked in customer service for too long. And if I were in this situation and I was watching my friend getting blocked from going to the toilet by some random ass volunteer, also a volunteer. Laura Lee is not part of the team. She volunteered. She was getting the exact same nothing of pay as the person on TikTok, standing in front of her, like making herself tall and intimidating. There's a video of this also on TikTok. And I watched this happen, and then why the fuck wouldn't I speak up and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Because she also said that no one else was treated this way. It was only her. Okay? Keep that in mind. And then she also mentions at the end of this event that she didn't get a swag bag as promised with like a limited or special edition of one of Jennifer L. Armentrout's books. Honestly, be happy you didn't get that. You don't want that. No, I'm kidding. But she didn't get that. And then there was like a sticky note with her name on it and like something else written on it. And then when she was trying to get the bag, there was like a lady who was like, oh no, you're not getting one. And then she was like, why am I not getting one? And then the lady explained, oh, we're not sure if there's enough for everyone. And so people who are doing the author assistance work are not getting one. So people who have been here since day one or have been working harder or something can get a bag. And she was there with her friend who just picked up her bag, who was working the same thing. Yet again, like, what the fuck are your friends doing? Peace and love, like, war and hate, actually. What the fuck kind of friends are these? You know what I mean? And that they were kind of, like, fussing around, not wanting to give her a bag, even though her friend was literally there, who had done the exact same thing. And she'd gotten her bag no problem. And she then later got a bag, but the special edition book was missing. And then she came back and the same explanation was given, like, yeah, you got the stickers and shit, but not the book because we're not sure if there's enough books. But her friend got the book, and everyone else that was, like, in her group working got their shit, but she didn't. And now the grand reveal. Guess the skin color of this person. She was, of course, a black woman, and she was experiencing this throughout the event, and she also mentions that her friend, like, I think she's referring especially to one friend, is white and wasn't experiencing this. And so it was a bunch of microaggressions coming her way, which is why I said, like, the beginning thing with the schedule, I can understand that it takes a little bit longer, but all of this added up kind of speaks, like, for itself, right? And at the end of the day, from what I understood, there wasn't any coordination going on. I don't know if any of these people that were volunteering were, how do you say, schooled? Do you say schooled? Like, were told how shit works. Or if they just volunteered, they got a schedule and they just had to show up. But I think nothing was explained to them how anything works. They were just kind of like, okay, here you go, here's a badge and a t-shirt, go do your worst. And that was the vibe I was getting. And then I looked at this person like, Laura Lee, her name is, I'm just gonna, should I dox her? No, peace and love, I'm not gonna dox her. Even though I could. I have that power. Her name is literally Laura Lee, that's so terrible. And because I was curious whether she was employed in some kind of con organization or something, but no, she is a loan officer assistant for a high school. So she works with children, great. Great, I love people who are terrible that work with children. Why is it always people who are bitches that work with children? I don't really get that, but she has nothing to do with, I mean, it says she's good at team building and management, apparently not. Like, apparently not, this speaks against it. But, I'm so sorry. The set is falling apart, the magic is disparaging. There's no magic going on here, guys. So that's why I'm saying I think that the people who are working for this con, they were not schooled in anything, or they were not taught anything on how to proceed and how to coordinate anything. They were just kind of like giving the benefit of the doubt. They were not, the volunteers also weren't chosen carefully. And peace and love, like, I don't know about security, but for the vibe I'm getting, and this is just allegedly, this is just my opinion, maybe there was a security firm hired, but I feel like she also just probably got volunteers to do the security. Like, I think everyone working there was just volunteers to save up on the money. Do you know what I mean? Because this just is weird. Why are volunteers not told what to do? Why are they not having a big team meeting before the day begins and, like, told how things are run? And why are they not reviewing people who are applying for this? And then there were some people in the comments like saying, yeah, I experienced the same thing, or like there was a volunteer being pushy or being aggressive towards me. And that's just what happens when you just hire anybody. When you just let anybody do it. You know what I mean? That's on you, Jennifer. And she did come out and say, yes, that was on me, because she did post an apology, a 3-page apology on the apollycon and Jennifer L. Armentrout Instagram. Are you guys getting annoyed yet? And, I'm just gonna read out the highlights. She didn't detail what happened in this apology, which I hate when it happens. I hate when people apologize for something and you don't know what they're apologizing for. Me reading this apology, I'm like, so what? Why are we talking about this? What happened? You know what I mean? I feel like you need to state what happened in your apology if you want to apologize for something. Anyway, she said a message from event owner Jennifer L. Armentrout. She is the owner, guy. Oh, she gives me the ick. She gives me the worst feeling. You know what I mean? I just hate Jennifer L. Armentrout. My highlight of this apology is she starts with, "Hi everyone, JLA here." It's a very, very good introduction. I'm not sure why that had to be said. You could have just left it out. "Hi everyone, JLL here." And started with an apology. Like, why are we doing this? She also says, but clearly I had failed. Oh no, wait, I have to read the sentence before that. 1 second. It's a long sentence. She can't really write that well, so, you know. "We have always strived to make apollycon inclusive, and that starts with our team of diverse staff and volunteers," because, again, we are alleging microaggressions here. Or not even micro, like, mega aggressions. "Which is done to ensure anyone who attends will feel comfortable approaching staff or volunteers with concerns, and also so that no microaggressions are missed by those of us who do not have these lived experiences. But clearly, I had failed to ensure this. Yes, me. Not my staff. Not the other 200 plus volunteers. And like the $1 million I made from this? No, it's not that many. Not that many dollars. At the end of the day, this is my event and my responsibility. Anything and everything starts and stops with me." Jenny, this is not it. I don't know. She turned off comments. I don't like Jennifer Armentrout at all. She gives me the worst? I didn't even eat that. Worst vibes. She posted these apologies. Huh? Oh my god, is it 4 pages? I was like, why does it cut off? It says, however, I fully understand that my apology doesn't erase what happened or how she felt. I hope that with time, seeing the changes will, and then it just cuts off. That's a weird way to format it. Wait, let me go back on the Instagram and see what it says. Huh? Why would she do it like that? Oh, Jenny, you really... Huh? I hope that with time, seeing the changes will, and you go to the next page, it just continues. Like, she doesn't follow up on that. She just didn't finish writing the sentence. Okay. Okay, and then she also goes, and I do have one more apology to the attendees and the fellow authors who took part in the Blue Box / 1001 Dark Night sponsored brunch and panel. Amazing brunch. I'm so sorry that I had to leave midway through due to, well, a very upset stomach. She had diarrhea. Do you hear the screams outside? They can't believe it either. Never in my career did I have to leave the middle of a panel, and while that was super awkward, I'm more concerned with the fact I was not able to carry out what was promised and paid for. Girl, go take a shit and come back. What the fuck? She probably didn't have any wet wipes on her. I know that the other amazing authors knocked it out of the park, but I'm still feel very sorry for not finishing the panel. I didn't even know that until right now, gays? Okay. This was only addressed to the gays watching. Guys, I didn't even know. What the fuck? Do you? And honestly, like, this apology also, you obviously you can read it on the Instagram and you can watch what in a smut? What's a little smut? What's a little smut's video on this whole matter if you want like the deep dive of it. I'm just kind of summarizing it for you. It reads like she wrote that shit, you know, she wrote that apology and then she just posted it, obviously, because she didn't even realize that she didn't finish the sentence. But I don't think she takes anything from anybody. Like, I don't think she listens to anybody or anyone's advice. And the creator has said herself that she talked to Jennifer Armentrout after she posted her video, and that the Laura Lee girly pop, Mrs. Ugly Pop, well, I mean... No, I just want to say anti-girly pop. She's not a girly pop. She's not part of the club, of any club. I was gonna say hopefully she gets fired. Okay, chill. I don't know who she is and what she does, but that she was let go, and that she will not be allowed to return, obviously. And again, at the end of the day, like, I don't really know. I already said my piece, right, with the volunteers. I just think organizing a convention takes so much effort, and I think maybe this year, or maybe not this year, but over the years, it's kind of stacked. I've used that word like 5 times in this video. I've never said it that many times in my life. But it's stacked on top of each other. Like, it became more and more popular every year. And if it gets more and more popular, you have more and more responsibilities. And then maybe having a team of 3 people is just not enough to organize an event. And you need to rethink your organization skills. And maybe also your writing. Maybe, you know, you shouldn't keep writing. Why the fuck did she invite the fucking models from the covers? I'm still not over that. She had to leave because, well... That's how she probably wanted. Well, you know what I mean? Well, my stomach was. I had to go take a shit. You know what I mean? Do you think she said that to people, or do you think she just like who? If you guys were there, if any of you, I don't think anyone who watches me was at this event, but maybe if you were at this event, did she just get up and leave, or did she say something like, "Well, guys, sorry, I have to take a shit." Take the microphone to the bathroom with you. You know what I mean? Like, can you turn it on and off? Like, if you have something to say, you can just say it in there. I don't really know. That's really funny. Peace and love. That probably speaks volumes for the food that was served at this event, too. Maybe she was cooking that shit up herself, you know what I mean? She also had volunteers cooking in the back. She had the volunteers do everything. Also 200 volunteers, but she did mention staff in the apology. I'm just, like... yapping about her. No, right? My thoughts. I'm just letting them out. She did say she had staff at this event, but I don't really know what she means by that, because again, there's only 3 people mentioned that are organizing this event. Anyway, guys, very curious. I'm so sorry to, again, I don't know her name. What's this little smut that this happened to you, and that you felt so she's not watching this, but that they felt so unwelcomed at the event, where genuinely people just want to go to have a good time with people that are like-minded, and then they have to experience stuff like that, which is just so unnecessary, you know what I mean? Like, why the fuck are we still doing this shit? And I hope that you get like a check. I hope you get a check from Jennifer Armentrout, because they talked about like how to change things in the future and implement so shit like this wouldn't happen again. I don't really know what that would be, and I don't think that's like gonna happen at all, like anything like that's gonna happen. But I think you should get like all of her books signed special edition and like $2,000, $3,000. The limit is endless. The fact that they didn't even offer her, like, she offered an apology, a public apology, but the fact that they didn't even offer her to return to the event if she wanted to the next year for free with like the highest ticket is insane to me. Did that not occur to anyone? Maybe they talked about it and she just didn't mention it. But, like, that's the first thing that I would think of. Like, if you want to, you can return. She said in her follow-up video, the creator, What's a Little Smut, said that they didn't want to return at all. So maybe that came up in the conversation as a compensation. Conversation, not compensation, oh my god. Probably not, though. That being said, that's all there is to this, I think. Let me look if I have any more screenshots of anything silly that I want to talk about. I always take screenshots of everything and then I forget to talk about it. I do have one more thing. Oh my god. I do have one more thing because I was on Twitter looking at this, as I mentioned earlier. Oh, I can mention this, right? So we're making this long. Stop. I don't know which language to speak. Not quick and dirty. Quick and dirty? Yeah. We're making it long and clean. So there was one person who replied to this TikTok. Someone posted it on Twitter of What's a Little Smut, and they replied to this TikTok saying, I remember meeting you at apollycon in 2020 and 2022, sorry, and personally thought it was strange that nearly all of Black/Latina authors were shoved in the same corner of the ballroom. I can think of one Latina author who was on the other side with maybe one person next to her. This is not something that the creator of the TikTok mentioned in her video at all. She had other things to talk about, right, that she personally experienced. And whether this is true or not, I also don't know. But it's interesting. Goes hand in hand with the microaggressions. Do you guys remember that one trip back in the day with the Visco girls? I don't know how old you guys are, but maybe you remember. I don't know if Emma Chamberlain, what the fuck? Emma was there too. But I think it was a Todd trip to like Bora Bora or Hawaii. I don't remember, like some tropical location. And there was a whole drama around it because they put the black girlies in one room and they had to like share a bed, and all of the other creators got like single rooms. Something like that. That's the vibe. That's the vibe. Why are we doing that? I genuinely don't understand it. Like, how? Why the fuck would you do that? Do that to anyone? In general, I don't get it. So that's something that was alleged, obviously, by Bethany on Twitter. Bethany Pop, thank you for sharing this. But then I saw another exchange that I thought was really interesting on Twitter. And I'm gonna read this whole exchange out to you because it confused me. But I think that this person is fighting for Laura Lee. For Laura Lee, the girly pop that is on video being proven to be intimidating and mean to the TikTok creator. So this person says, I'm so over this getting blown up into something. JLA, apollycon, and this volunteer don't deserve this slander. The truth will come out once everyone has time to hear the other side of the story. But she's already got what she wanted. More clicks and followers. Because when they said this volunteer doesn't deserve this slander, I was like, oh, they mean What's a Little Smut. But they're not getting any slander. And then I realized they're talking about Laura Lee. Laura Lee doesn't deserve any slander, because the truth will come out, and What's a Little Smut only got views and clicks. She got fame! And then someone replied, did you by any chance attend the event? I don't know. No, I didn't even know this was a thing. It made me feel like, oh wow, even the book girlies be in drama. What the fuck? And yes, I would love some more insight from those who attended. And then the person who originally tweeted replied, that volunteer was up at 7 a.m. on Wednesday and spent 8 hours helping authors unload books from cars and trucks and hand carrying them to their tables. Then stayed up until midnight, decorating for the Night of the Ride event for Jennifer Armentrout. That means she is allowed to be racist. And then, no, that's not what they said, but like, are you trying to say that? And then the other person replied, yes, she deserves to be treated with respect. That's a lot of labor. And then the original tweeter replied, basically, which is why this is so frustrating. She gave everything she had only to receive this. It isn't right now. Is this like the person themselves tweeting? Well, it is a Christian mother of 3 tweeting this. It isn't right now. The event will lose the hardest work. The hardest worker! I didn't even realize that she wrote that. It isn't right now. The event will lose the hardest worker. Why? Because a first-time volunteer decided to take it to social media. The hardest worker is also the biggest racist. The biggest racist volunteer. What are we doing? This is so confusing, guys. Do you think they are related? Or this is like an alt? Oh my god. There's like more to this, you know, there's more layers to this. Now we're really deep diving. This is like really just me yapping. We're like on FaceTime, but you can't reply. That doesn't matter. You can comment. I will read it. Don't worry about it. Let me go on to this person's Twitter. Follower of Christ, wife, mom to 3 boys, and 1 Frenchy girl. Okay. But do you know Laura Lee? Where's she from? Because I know... Oh, the plot thickens. Wait. She's also from Texas, which is where Laura Lee is from. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, guys, upon further review, I am unsure whether these 2 people know each other. Because obviously that's a lot of information to have on someone. Like, they got up at 7 a.m. and are the hardest worker. Like, there's obviously some kind of relation. They live 25 minutes away from each other. So, whether that is, like, that might be their mom. No, that's not the mom. But that might be, like, they definitely know each other in some kind of way. That is so fucking funny. That's so funny to me. Ugh, guys, she posts everything on Facebook. I don't fucking have Facebook. I don't know how to use Facebook. But they definitely have been fans. Both of them. This volunteer and the person that defended him on Twitter. Been longtime fans of Jennifer Armentrout because they replied to a post of her on Facebook of 2016. So... this is all coming full circle. I'm glad that I uncovered this, but this is the only person writing hard for Laura Lee, which must mean that they know each other. Alas, guys, I'm glad we uncovered the truth. Not sure what this gets us now, but this was a revelation to me. And since I have to get up very soon to go work, I'm gonna start getting unready now. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment below, especially all of the convention girly pops, book haters, all of the... oh yeah, the sign is still on. All the convention book haters that know more than me, maybe even attended this event or an event like this, and let me know your thoughts on this, because I don't really know, like, what to think about it, because I don't know if it's like a con issue or just a racist volunteers issue, right? Like, who... obviously you're gonna blame the con, but at the end of the day it comes down to those bitches working there. Like, it's a them issue. I don't know how to really, like, grasp it, right? But alas, I'm sure... I'm happy that they got their apology and that they got to talk to Jennifer Armentrout. I'm sure that they're, even under these circumstances, are maybe, like, a little bit happy. Maybe they get some swag and shit. And I hope that this isn't, like, too big of a scarring event for them, that this happened, and that they won't stray away from conventions just because of this incident. Because that would really suck, if this would be, like, the factor that made them not want to attend events like this anymore. That being said, again, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I love you all so much, especially my members, especially you, Tris, my Polish friend, my second Polish friend. And... other than that, make sure to follow me on Instagram at HonestlySophieYT. What's the other one? Goodreads, Honestly Sophie. And I'm currently reading Den of Vipers, and that's coming out soon. Wish me luck. Thoughts and prayers are appreciated. So guys, I hope you stay happy, you stay healthy, peace, and love. And hopefully, I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Wait, I'm so scared. I think my sign just exploded. Guys, you look first. Oh my god, I'm so scared. What the fuck is that? Guys, please watch the ad so I can buy a new one. Oh my god. Is this like toxic? It's on my books now. Ugh. Sorry, I was just getting unready as I announced. Okay, it's still closed, but I'm sure that something's up with the batteries. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, one of the batteries exploded. It doesn't look bad or anything. And it's turned off, but now this is a turn off to me. Like, can I still use this now? Why the fuck did it happen? This is like all the shit I talk getting back to me. Can you see? I have never seen this happen in my fucking life. If this sign dies, the channel dies. So what am I supposed to do? I'm scared. I'm gonna get like this in my eye or something. I hope your day is going better than mine. Alas, good night.